Want to watch ABC? What's up, family? It is Caden with Urban Finance. Watch ABC. I hear an echo in the back. Got my family with me on today. Enjoying life. And so today we're going to be talking about the Kanye West documentary, Yeezus. And just what you looking like that for? Put a smile on. Let me see you smile. Good job. We're going to be talking about the Kanye West documentary, Yeezus. Man, after watching this, I was absolutely blown away by his documentary. So I really wanted to have a conversation about it on today. I also have with me my brother Malik Champlain, who will be joining us really quickly. But the reason why I wanted to show my family really quick is because they are my wives. You know, in Kanye West documentary, Donda, who is his mother, his mother contributed and participated so much. Now he's beating me up in who he became as a person. And so without further ado, bye-bye. You know, my wife is leaving, but we'll talk about the documentary and Kanye West. He wants to stay with daddy. But like I said, I'm looking forward to my brother Malik joining me. If you're joining us live, say what's up in the comment section. What's up, Vern? It's always good to see you, Queen. If you're joining us, say what's up. If you have any questions as we go through this, certainly let us know. If you saw the documentary and want to give your thoughts about it as well, let us know in the comment section. We're all having a conversation today. But without further ado, let me bring Malik on. What's up, Malik? Can you tell the folks a little bit about yourself? I can't hear you. And so while Malik gets
are we good?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
All right, perfect. What's going on, King?
Not much, man. Not much. I saw you posted on Facebook about a documentary, and so I wanted to have this conversation with you because I know this documentary. I'm sure it inspired you as much as it inspired me. So I wanted you to talk to the folks a little bit about it as well. But can you tell the folks a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, first off, my name is Malik Champlain, and once again, good brother, I appreciate you bringing me on your show. I'm out of Connecticut, and my organizations that I run are Passion Hunger Drive. I got Freedmen's Transport. I got CBB Home Buyers. Shout outs to Ashe Investment Group out of Hartford, Connecticut, as well as Revolution for the Mind Book Club. So I got a lot of things going on. I'm big in real estate. I'm a spoken word artist, motivational speaker. So, just out here trying to move the needle, move the culture.
Thank you. And so I guess what about the documentary did you find, I guess, most interesting? We can start there.
Man, well, one of the things is that I think maybe 20 years I've been rocking with Kanye. I think a lot of us have been. And I was really interested in catching this old footage because you get that vibe, right? Like you always talk about how you want the old Kanye back, and sometimes you start to forget what all the antics that are happening right now. And man, when I watched the clips, it just brought me back, just that the power of belief, that power of the grind, that back against the wall. And there's something about him that it connects with you, right? I know for me, talking about me, what connected was, sometimes I say this thing to myself where it's victory has defeated you. Right. This idea that things you've been catching too many wins, you're getting too comfortable. You don't have that same hunger, right? That same passion, hunger, drive. So when I think about that and I see him, right, he's living in an apartment, right? He's playing beats for Most Def in the car. He's not right. Jay-Z them going to shows in Chicago, not inviting him at times, right? He has all the doubt. They can't see the vision. But there's an energy about that. There's an energy that makes you that when your back is against the wall and you're in the basement, right? You're in the back room and no one sees the vision but you. There's a magic in that, right? And it just brought that back out of me, right? It just brought that I found myself writing. I found myself just more focused after watching that.
Yeah, yeah. No, and I feel you. I usually don't do videos on Sunday. I typically do 2 videos a week. I've been working on a master class for a little while now. And after watching the video, I'm like up at late nights grinding away. It's like I got not even it's not even about the money. And I think, even for Kanye, it's about that why his mom, Donda. Like, there are people that are counting on you to for lack of a better word, establish, become the greatness that you are. And you don't want to let them down, not because of any pressure they're putting on you necessarily, but because you want to make them proud. You want to change their life. And so, that type of fire from Kanye in the documentary, it just reads that passion for what you're doing.
So adding to what you were saying, it just like, it got me so hyped because there is like an obligation we have to share our genius level talent. Right? Not a want, not a need, like an obligation, right? There's an opportunity cost when you don't share it. And he knew it. Like he knew what he had to share with the world before anybody else did, right? And you had saw me post, and when I posted there was a point in time for me, right, when I didn't say my first word till I was 4, right? Spoke with a stutter for 10 more. Right, I was in special ed classes. Right, my father wasn't around. Coming from Brooklyn, living in like just getting up out the mud, and the only person who had my back, right, the only person who was telling me I was special, telling me I could do it, who could see the vision even bigger than me was my mom. So like that connection, right, was there. So then it made me reflect on like I've been blessed to have my mom still.
Yeah.
So the fact that he lost her. Right, like, and what does that do to somebody like that person who was your cheerleader when the world was against you, right? When it was like me and you versus, right, like the way that she spoke life into him when she told, right, and but also was like what kept him grounded. That like when she told him like, yo, when a giant looks in the mirror, he sees nothing.
I love that quote. And it's some debate going on what that quote meant. And so one line of commentary was the quote was meant to humble him, right? In terms of be humble. But I don't necessarily think that was the purpose of the quote, because even when he said, do you think I'm too arrogant, Ma? And she was like, nah, you just how you're supposed to be. And so, for me, what the quote meant is that when you look in the mirror, you just see who you are, which is greatness. He always knew he was great. He always believed himself to be great. And so when he looked in the mirror, he sees greatness and he knows himself to be great. So he just sees himself as he is. Now, other people may look at him and see, okay, that's a giant, like a giant, an actual giant, a literary giant. Other people look at a giant and say, oh, that's a huge beast. That's a giant right there. But the giant looks in the mirror and just sees himself. And I think that's what his mom was telling him. It's okay for you to think or believe that you're going to be great, because that's how you've always been. And what I loved about Donda is just like supported and believed in him more than he believed in himself. I'm hearing a little feedback. I'm not sure which side it's coming from. Before I continue, what's up, Nia? What's up, Christina? Thank you so much for the super sticker, Vern. I appreciate that. I appreciate the love. But yeah, so that quote, oh man, that just blew me away. The other thing that I kind of wanted to talk about, if you remember, is how everyone wanted to stay in his lane as a producer. Everybody wanted beats from him, even to the point that they wanted free beats. But he's like, nah, I'm gonna be a rapper. What's your thoughts about that?
I think, right, you often hear, if you want to kill a dream, tell the small-minded people. Right, and when you're doing something that no one has ever done before, when you're chasing greatness, right, when you're chasing the ghosts of greatness, when you're chasing something inside of you that nobody else can see, when you're innovating and moving, and you're a generational shifter, right, when you're a one of one, when you're that authentic in who you are and the vision that you have for the people, you have to understand that idea of being that giant, the idea of being that leader is that when you're leading, no one can see your vision, because a leader doesn't look back. He's only looking forward, and his view, they can't see. So he already had the vision, and the idea was that, yo, I can expect people to have to see it first. I got to go out here and keep giving it to them until I got to make them believers. right? I gotta make them a believer. And I think anybody who's ever been in that space where people want you to play small so that other people feel good about you, so that other people can use you, it's nah, man. Like the one thing I learned was this, right? And got this from grandma. She said, first they're gonna ignore you, then they're gonna laugh at you, then they're gonna fight you, and then you'll win.
No, and that's so real, man. It's like, I love the part that he and his team went to bum rush the Rockefeller office, right? And he's playing All Falls Down, and I'm bumping to it because that's the song, right? That's like all fall, and in the office, no one's really paying it much mind. You know what I'm saying? And so you can have greatness, you can be greatness, and other people look at it like it's nothing. And you just have to be the one to believe that you can do what you think and know you can do, because people are not going to believe for you. And so, like I said, for anyone that is on the grind and trying to accomplish anything in life, I strongly encourage you to check out the documentary, because it is eye-opening. One of the things I absolutely love about the documentary is that a lot of people, documentaries are from the present looking back, right? And so they're talking about how they viewed themselves in the past, how they believed in themselves in the past sometimes. But the documentary is being recorded in the past, and you're hearing how Kanye West believed in himself, like when he had nothing. I remember a line he said, during the video. He talked about, before I even had a car, and this is way before he won any Grammys or anything. This is before he was signed. He said, before I even had a car, I was walking to the train station practicing my Grammy speech. Now that's powerful, not just because he's saying it today, but it's powerful because he's saying it before he even won anything, And so, man, and so.
Yeah. So if I can add to that is right, and it's the burden of being a visionary, right? It's a gift and a curse. So like I'll give you an example. Back in 2010, I've given this story before, but I was homeless, sleeping in my car, and then I was getting my life together, and I remember telling myself, like, I had just got me a new job, just got me a spot to stay in, and I went, and then at the time I had a big gap in my teeth, and I went and got braces. And I was like 26 years old, and the homies was like, "Yo, man, why are you getting braces? Like you've been looking like this your whole life, like you good." And I was like, "Yo, one day I'm gonna be on the front cover of my book, and when I'm on that book, I'm gonna smile, and I want a good smile on it." And it took me a couple years later, and I wrote my book, and it was like, "Well, what's the cover gonna be?" Fam, you already know. These whites is already gonna be on the front, but I had this vision, right, that I already knew. Like, boom, in 2 years I bought a house. Then it was like, boom, I already knew, like I had met my wife, she was my girlfriend, but I'm like, boom, I'm gonna lock that in, right? It's this vision, right? When you're a visionary of what you're about to do, all you have to do is keep working at the goal, the grind, and then allow the chips to fall. But other people who doubted you, right, eventually, right, who thought you couldn't do it, who wanted you to stay in your lane, now, right, years later, when the truth comes to reality and you look like you've been prophesying, right? Now they look at you and they go, "Oh, you were the exception. Oh, you was always dope.
Yeah,
you was always right." Now they believers, right? But at the end of the day, I don't get right. I don't get petty with it. I kill people with kindness and torture them with success.
I love that. I love kill people with kindness and torture them with sex. Nah, man, and even us being on here today, hearing the things, because neither of us is who God has in store for us, right? We're not the people yet who God have in store for us and who will become. But one of the beautiful things is we already have the vision of who we know we can be, Like when I talk about, I always say that I want to retire with at least $10 million. I believe that would allow me to leave the type of legacy for my family that they are deserving of, And there's this quote in the Bible or scripture that says, "I was young and now I'm old, yet I have never seen the righteous forsaken or their children begging for bread." And I'm the type of person that believes that I am God's instrument, And so for people never to see the children of God begging for bread. That means that I need to provide for my son so that he never has to beg anyone for a job, for my grandchildren in a way they never need to beg for anything. But a lot of people see, even me saying something like that, oh, I'm going to retire with $10 million at least, as a bit of arrogance. But, if you don't have the vision, like, Kanye West had the vision of everything he would become before he became it, and people are always going to be doubters. Like that's natural. People are always going to doubt when you have big dreams, big vision. And I remember, and I'll say this, and kudos to my wife. I remember when I told her that we're going to retire with at least $10 million, right? And you know what she said to me?
What she said?
Why not $1 billion? Why not $1 billion? You know what I'm saying? Like,
okay.
People with those, and I was like, you know what? You're right, Sugar. Why not $1 billion? You need people who can believe that you're able to do extraordinary. Because when you're not shooting for extraordinary, like you're never gonna achieve it. If you don't have a vision to achieve something, believe you can achieve something, it's not gonna happen for you. It's not gonna happen in your life. And so you need that type of vision, and you need some people, like Donda, who believes that Kanye was as great as he is. I'll talk about this. And like I said, this is gonna be a short live, so we'll probably end real soon. But one of the things I love how Donda was repeating Kanye's rhymes back to him, rhymes that he didn't even remember. Like his mom is like, oh, you don't remember this rap from when you were like 14 years old or 15 years old? Like, to me, those are the type of people you need around you. The people that believe in you more than you believe in yourself, because we all have ups and downs in this life. We all have highs and lows. Even the person that's grinding the most sometimes have those moments where they don't feel like pushing forward. And it doesn't have to be a lot. It could just be one person. Like, I feel like Kanye West's mom was that one person. It could just be one person. It could just be like my wife, who's like, why not billionaires? Why stop at 10 million? Have that one person in your life that is willing to believe in you, even sometimes when you're in a place you're not able to believe in yourself. And like I said, we're not going to be long, but share with the folks some of your thoughts. I see you.
No. I think I'll wrap it up. I think I'll kind of keep it to this, right? I got this. It really brought out of me the idea of 10,000, right? So Kanye talked about, like, yo, I've been doing this since I was 13, 14 years old, right? So I put in the time, I put in the hours in perfecting my craft. Right. His mom said the same thing, like all the time that he put in. Right. And there's something about that. Right. The time that he put in. So when someone says, like, and she said, I don't think you're too arrogant. Right. Because to be a star, you have to be a star. Right. There's something, like, I know for me. Right. My mom named me Malik, which means king. She would tell me that. Right. She would tell me to walk like that, to talk like that. People like to quote Jay-Z and be like, yo, I don't switch up in every room. I don't switch up in any room. Classroom, boardroom, operating room, it don't matter, right? I'm me because I had that instilled in me, right? My mother raised a king, so like a king I would stand, right? So I put in that 10,000 hours in my craft because it's the work, it's the grind, it's the faith, right? And who put me here and who gave me this gift. You get to understand, when I know my gift, and my gift is given to me from God, my goal, my way of giving that back is to give it to the people. So that's the 10,000, right? Is mastery. Then you go ahead, and my idea is that I might be one person. So when I walk in that room, the reason I have so much confidence is that I'm one person, but 10,000 people have poured into me. You got to understand, I come from Brooklyn, baby, right? Fulton and Rochester, Elder and Bushwick, right? So then, and no hate, because I'm a CT dude to the death of me. Rose City.
Yeah.
So the idea, though, is that there have been so many old heads at the YMCA, so many old heads that had the barbecue that spoke life into me, to let me know who I was. So when I go into rooms, I represent them. You gotta know who I represent. So when he talked about representing Chicago and that endearment everywhere he go, right? It's the same thing for me. And then the other 10,000 is that the goal has to be to influence 10,000 people, right? It can't just stay with you. You got to influence 10,000.
Man. Well, like Malik, thank you so much for joining me today to have this conversation, man. Like I said, when I watched the documentary, I was like, I told my wife, I'm talking about this on Sunday, because I found it to be motivational. If someone didn't see the documentary, and I want them to check it out because, you know, I just found it to be so inspirational. It was just part one, so there's a second part that's coming out and a third part that's coming out. I believe the second part is being released on February 23rd. And so if you saw part one, I encourage you to see part two. And if you saw, you know, and if you didn't see it yet, I encourage you to check it out because, you know, it's just inspirational to see where he came from. And sometimes we can lose vision of, you know, who we can become in life. And so, you know, like I said, you know, hands down to shout out to Coodie as well, the person that is recording it, the documentary. You know, it talks about he left his career just to record Kanye West documentary when Kanye was still pretty much a nobody. And so, you know, even that takes a lot of guts. And so, all right, family, don't forget to smash the like button. As I always say, feel free to subscribe to the channel, hit the bell to be notified of when I post something new. And like I always say, God bless y'all, and remember to live your best life, fam.